Now we are going to talk about the mind and the brain. The mind and the brain, because they work hand in hand. Now the brain may refer to mental capacity. The mind is the philosophical and general term for the center of mental activity. Every activity that goes on in the human body, the mind now is the center of it all. It all starts from there and it ends from there. For a person to be able to react, it is as a result of his mind and of all that has gone on in his or her mind. And is therefore used as intellectual power. You can use your mind to your own advantage. And it can also be used in your own disadvantage if you do not know how to use it. That's why you see in some conversations when somebody says something, you just say, this person has a brilliant mind. Because the person has been able to know his mind, to be able to process what goes on in his mouth, in his mind, and is able to say it out at the right time. Now the brain is properly the psychological term for the organic structure that makes mental activity possible. In order for your mental activity to be possible, then the brain has to come into place. Now, how will the brain function? It has to function in hand with the mind. They work hand in hand. Because it is what you now think in your mind that processes into your brain, and then from your brain you now bring it out as an attitude, as a mood, as a character. Now the brain is the center of the nervous system, but it is often applied like mind to intellectual capacity. Now the brain is the anatomical word, but in popular usage it is applied to intelligence. Now we're also going to still look at other definitions of the mind. Now the mind is the human faculty to which are ascribed thoughts, feelings, etc., often regarded as an immaterial part of a person. That is where you process all your thoughts from, all your feelings from, all your reasonings from. All these things comes out from your mind. And then another definition is that the mind is intelligence or intellect, especially as opposed to feelings or wishes. My dear friends, with this definition of mind, I believe of a truth that you are all agreeing with me and with God when He said that He has given us all things that pertains to life and godliness. Now you may want to know, ask, what is godliness? Okay, God has given us everything that pertains to life and godliness. Okay, now what is that godliness that we're talking about? Godliness is when we put to work all these definitions of the mind that we have just read and heard. That is what godliness entails. When we put all of these things to work, godliness is when we put to work all these definitions of what the mind carries into use or into practice. That is when God will be pleased with us, and that is when our yearning and aspirations will be met, and we will come back to return all glory to God who has given us all of these things. We said that the mind is for reasoning, right? It's for judging. It's where you have your right thinking. It is what processes your thoughts, your actions. Now when we put all of these things in accordance to God's will for our life, that is godliness. When we do all of these things as God desires for us to do, then at the end of the day, all glory returns back to God, which is your maker, that has given you this mind for it to function. God has already embodied each and every one of us with gifts in our hearts, just as the members of our body are. Like